Hello, 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 everybody. And we've made it to season 4 of WG. That's right. Season 4 for all of us. Season 5 for Dante and myself, which means next year, the next 2 years will be seasons 6 and 7 for Dante and myself.
I just fucking
What a
just
start. All right, Apple.
punched my computer. Anyway,
Anyways,
What a start.
we are your hosts, as always, Adam.
Dante.
And Luke.
We're officially kicking off season 4 of our WG production today. We are starting our divisional prediction segment. And the next episode, you're going to see us looking the same because we are recording back to back here on Saturday, August 23rd. But you'll see these episodes at different times. So I figured 2 out of 3 of our podcasters are AFC fans. So we could start with the AFC.
So
I
kind.
think makes sense. So
Makes sense.
I guess we can do that.
Yeah.
In terms of where you'll see episodes this year, Luke has done a lot of work for us. Thank you, Luke. Do you want to explain real quick what the fans could be seeing?
Yeah, so I will be sending out and putting on the social medias links to our show now on Spotify and iTunes slash Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called. Um, because we are small mom and pop shop, you're going to have to click the link. I'm not sure if you search it, it'll come up, but we're going to grow. It's going to help us gain more exposure. It's going to help all three of us get more people on board to watch and listen. I will mention that Spotify has video, but Apple is only audio. So if you enjoy watching us, if you enjoy looking at our beautiful faces, YouTube or Spotify is still going to be the way. We're still going to push out mainly to YouTube, but it's going to be everywhere now, and we're really excited about
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Do we have any backgrounds for this, Dante? Like, do you want to throw the AFC North logos up or something?
I don't have any. But
Okay,
um
that's fine.
I
I
could
wasn't.
download one real quick. 1 second.
You
it. I
want?
mean, I can just do this. I'll just do that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And
All right.
then
I think we're good. Um, so which you two can decide which of your divisions we start with.
um Luke, whatever you want, man. I'm all good.
Let's just get through the AFC East because I think I'm gonna have some opinions on that, and my buddy Drake May is up on the screen now. So
I'll see if
there
I
we
can
go.
find a Panthers logo next episode. But for now, you're getting the Bush Light and the Phillies logo blurred behind me. So
Yeah, that's sick.
So the AFC East, hot topic this offseason because a lot of people have a lot of opinions, mainly about the three teams at the bottom of the division: the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots. Not my order yet. Be patient. Everybody agrees that the Bills will finish first in this division. I think. I've seen some very bold people saying otherwise, but that's very few and far between. So I will slot them in there at first in the division playoff spot pretty easily. I think everybody also, for the most part, would agree that the Jets are going to be fourth in the division. We all like Justin Fields here. He was a Steeler. He went to Ohio State. We all like him. Um, when I saw he signed with the Jets, and I think I've said this on air before, I was like, you know what? That's fine with me. That will work. I don't think he's going to be a success there, unfortunately. I just don't think that team, despite having a new head coach, is set up to go anywhere other than a 5-12 finish in the next a half decade, which is right back to the way things should be, if you ask me. Um, just paid Sauce Gardner, which I loved because he's overrated. And you look at that team up and down; they're not built for who they thought they were going to be the past couple years. Um, Third and second is where the toss up begins. A lot of people were saying the Dolphins are going to be awful. A lot of people are saying the Patriots are going to be great. I'm going to warn everybody to cool off of those two opinions. I don't think that much is going to happen overnight. If you look at this Dolphins team from last year, they were, I think, 9-8 last year. I think they were the 9 seed, something like that, 8-9. Not a ton has changed. There was some offseason buzz. I think Tyreek Hill had he planted another football team. He had that many kids. He might have gotten arrested once. He said he wanted to be off the team. People are starting to realize that Mike McDaniel's not the coach that they thought he was. All sorts of stuff. Chop Robinson is hurt, I think. They lost Jalen Ramsey, and they lost Johnny Smith. Obviously, we'll get into that. We've gotten into that. But they got Minka Fitzpatrick back. You know, they. I don't think they're going to fall off a cliff. I really don't. So I do have the Dolphins in second for now. Um, it'll be close. It'll depend on how the season goes. Adam and I just looked at the Patriots schedule last night, and I it looked easier than I remembered it to look. But I still do think we're going to finish third. I'm pumping the brakes on the optimism a little bit, just because the past couple years, every single year, I've said, "Oh, 6 or 7 wins, seven or eight win team ceiling." I've said that the past couple years. I'm like, why are you guys
We
looking at
gotta
me like that?
stop.
Then I realized,
We got
yeah,
you.
I actually didn't mean to do that time. But I'm gonna pump the brakes on the optimism a little bit because every single time I've said that the past couple years, what's happened? 4 wins last year. I do think we'll be a lot better than that. Mike Vrabel will be a difference maker immediately, um, as will hopefully Kyle Williams, my king, Efton Chisholm, our undrafted rookie wide receiver. Um, I don't know. I think the order will be Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
All
Adam,
right.
how you go next?
You want to go, Dante?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so for my AFC East prediction, in first place, I do have the Buffalo Bills. I have some records here, by the way. I did do records.
Oh, okay.
I have the Bills
I
going,
did. I did nice suck. So.
oh, it's all good. I have the Bills going 12-5. I don't think that's ridiculous. In second place, I have the New England Patriots going 10-7.
Okay.
In third place, I have the New York Jets going 8-9.
Oh wow.
And in fourth place, I have the Miami Dolphins going 7-10. And let me just explain why I think the Dolphins are going to be bad. Let me just bring up their defensive roster. Um, man, because if you look, man, it's a rough showing. I mean, you do have Chop Robinson, you have Minka, but Mike Hilton, Storm Duck, Ashton Davis, Kendall Sheffield, Tyrell Dodson. This team, I don't really believe in a lot, like at all. I think if Tua puts it together, maybe they could be decent, but I'm really not high on the Dolphins at all. You trade away your best offensive player from last year outside Tyreek Hill, but Johnny Smith had an incredible year. I don't understand why you wouldn't build around him and keep him. So yeah, I'm not very high on the Dolphins. And I think the Jets defense alone will get them some wins. 8 and 9 might be a little bit generous. I know you're not too high on Sauce Gardner, but yeah, I don't know. I just think Justin Fields, his legs could do something for him. I really don't think much, but yeah, you could really flip those any way you want. But I do think the Patriots are going to be pretty solid. Um, I believe in Drake May. I think that defense is going to be it's an underrated defense. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to take another big step. Pardon me while I make my pick here. 1 second. I'm sorry. I think, yeah. 1 second. Speaking of that, I just took Drake May as my second quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are going to be better than
Yeah.
a lot of people think they are. But I think it's still the Bills division to lose. So
Okay. All right. Interesting. I'll throw a couple comments into the wind real quick before Adam goes.
of course,
I
you know the East way better than
Yeah. I don't know about Justin Fields, man. I mean, I know you guys are
I
huge fans.
don't I don't either. But like
I really don't think it's going to work. Um, but I also don't think that's a primary reason that they're going to be back in the basement. And you totally could be right about the Dolphins just being super non-competitive on one side of the ball. Um, but we're still the Patriots are still hoping for a 700-yard receiver. We're still the Bills are still hoping for somebody to who's their wide receiver one, right? Jets is their offense really going to be all that challenging? So that's 6 games right there that the Dolphins defense isn't going to have to be a top 10 unit. They always seem to beat us twice, and I haven't really looked at their schedule, but I think on the offense side of the ball, I think they'll be as good as they've been the past couple of years. I have no reason to think otherwise. No, Johnny Smith had a great year last year and don't have him, but I think that's more of a he was a player to get the ball. He was a player to get the targets. I mean, I saw him play for 2 or 3 years in New England, and there was almost not a single play that impressed me. So I'm a bit biased, but um, I on the Patriots, man. I don't know. I'm really I'm really being careful. Maybe that's just as a fan to not buy in so much emotionally to this team who isn't ready either way. even if they go 10-7, which would be a huge surprise to me. It's not like they're about to win a playoff game, probably. So maybe it's just because of my own personal biases. But like you said, I tend to believe I know my division, and I'm fairly confident about what I'm thinking, especially the fact that the Jets will be at fourth. But we could see either way. I think that it's possible that kind of another thing you were saying that it's a decent division overall. That fourth place is still a six or seven, it's still a seven-ish win team. Um, we'll just have to see. It'll come down to coaching. It'll come down to who can of the Jets and the Dolphins who can delay the disaster longer because I think it's coming for both teams. We'll see the Patriots just how quickly we can turn things around because I don't think it'll be quite as quickly as people are saying it's going to be.
Cool.
All right, I guess I'm up. And I did think of some records on the fly here, so why not? These might not be official, but just throwing around. I do have the Bills in first, as everybody predicted. I said 13-4. I think they're going to be really good. But not the top seed in the AFC. You'll see who that is a little bit later. I have the Patriots in second. I have them going 8-9. I
Ooh.
think, like Luke said, you should pump the brakes on the optimism a little bit, but I do think they're going to be better than last year. They're definitely improved. Especially the man behind Luke is going to make some strides this year. I could see him breaking out even further. I have the Dolphins in third, but not by far. I have the Dolphins at 7-10. I thought about it, and you got to factor in one thing with the Dolphins, and that's the health of Tua, because it happens every year. He gets hurt by week 6 or 7. He's on the shelf, and they've got a backup in there. And this year, it's Zach Wilson. So I'm not sure what to think about that. And behind him, it's Quinn Ewers, who honestly might be better than Zach Wilson. So, and then fourth, I have the Jets. I've been going 5-12. I love Justin Fields, but just not sure how it's going to work out. The Jets seem to be a dumpster fire and seem to be a cursed place for quarterbacks to play. And I think that could be the case for Fields, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking for the AFC East.
Interesting. Love that.
All right. Why don't we go on to the as I've called it, division where everybody hates each other, the AFC North.
Yeah, I'll start. In fourth place, I'm sure this will be a universal opinion. I have the Cleveland Browns, and I have them going fourth.
Really? No way. I'm just kidding.
I have the Browns going 4-13. I think they're going to be bad. Yeah, I don't have much faith in them at all. If you have 5 quarterbacks, you don't have one. It's really not looking good for the Browns. Offensively, their main targets are Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. We were talking about Njoku before the episode started, and yeah, he's really one of their only good targets. They have a question at running back. Can you count on Jerry Jeudy to have another season like he did last year? I don't know. And they really don't have a wide receiver too. And then on their defensive side of the ball, I believe it was Martin Emerson who's out for the year. That hurts them a lot. Myles Garrett's going to be himself. He's going to be real nice. But other than that, uh, JOK, Owusu-Koramoah, he's not playing this year. Browns are going to have a rough stretch this year. So, and it couldn't make me more happy, honestly. In third place, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I have the Bengals in third. Joe Burrow is going to be Joe Burrow. He's going to be great. He's going to do his thing. He's going to probably throw for 40 touchdowns, and Jamar Chase is going to win the Triple Crown again. But oh my gosh, man, have you seen that defense is on paper the worst in the league,
Even with Hendrickson.
even with Hendrickson. And if they don't have Hendrickson, dude, it's going to be a
They're
sight.
going to have to score 40 per game.
Yeah, it's going to be even worse than last year, you know? And I just feel so bad for Joe Burrow because he's phenomenal. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. He's so poised. He's so good. Jamar Chase is so good. But the Bengals organization has really failed both that trio on the offensive side of the ball and their fans. I don't know what got into their heads thinking, okay, I have a franchise quarterback and 2 good wide receivers. I don't need anything else. It's like they're not even trying with Trey Hendrickson. It's actually insane. It's not as bad as Jerry Jones with Micah Parsons, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. And I dislike the Bengals, obviously. I don't want them to be good, but man, I feel bad for their fans. Oh my God. I like if the defense the Steelers had was that bad and my team didn't care, well, I guess I do know how that feels because I'm a Pirates fan, but
Yeah, I was just gonna
anyway,
say actually, but
but yeah, Bengals. I still have them going 9-8 because I think Joe Burrow is going to win them some games, and that may be super generous, but I don't know. That's what I have the Bengals going. In second place, I have the Baltimore. I'm joking. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers in
yeah.
second. Maybe a hot take 11-6. I have the Steelers going 11-6. I don't think that's ridiculous. If we play up to par, obviously, Aaron Rodgers coming in, he might be a question mark, but truthfully, when talking about Aaron Rodgers and his Jets tenure, name a better quarterback to play for the Jets other than Mark Sanchez in the past 10 to 15 years.
No, you can't, especially last year. Well, only last year, I guess. He had a good year. He had a great second half of the year. You can't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's something like some of the most passing yards they've gotten out of anybody in the season
28
since.
touchdowns, 11
Yeah,
picks. Aaron Rodgers was good on that team. He was just in the worst scenario. I've heard so many people say the Jets never had an offensive scheme. They just had a collection of plays. That really just seems what it was. Garrett Wilson was obviously his main target, but other than that, really not much. But when looking at the Steelers, I think DK Metcalf will be a good addition. He'll be our premier target, as he should be. Um, and then other side, I mean, other positions on the offense, I think Fryermuth is going to have a good year. I think Jonnu, well, I don't know how to feel about Johnny yet. I don't know how he's going to perform, but I think he could be good if it all works out. Roman Wilson's looking great in preseason. I know that's just preseason, but so we'll pump the brakes a little bit. I like Caleb Johnson. We know what Jalen Warren is, and a young offensive line that can be good. And on the defensive side of the ball, it's stars at all three levels. I mean, the front seven is probably top five, if not top three, in the NFL. Um, and then Patrick Queen working the middle linebackers, and then maybe the best corner room in the league with Ramsey, JPJ, and Slay. I know they're a little bit aged, but I think they could still be really good. And then Deshaun Elliott, who had a Pro Bowl caliber season last year, and then Juan Thornhill, who's can still be good if he's in a safety two role. But yeah, this is some of the most optimism I've had going into a Steelers season. Maybe that's foolish optimism, but I think we can be good for Rodgers. He's not looked at as the savior of this team. He's looked at as just a part um, opposite of what he was with the Jets. He was looked at as the savior, but I don't think that's what he's coming in to be for the Steelers. So I think he'll be good. And yeah, I think the Steelers have a chance to maybe win a playoff game this year. That's really all I want. But anyway. And then in first place, we have the Baltimore Ravens going 13-4. I don't think this is any surprise. Baltimore Ravens have the best running game in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's ridiculous. And then they just upgraded on defense. Bringing in Jair. Say what you want about Jair. It's similar to a Ramsey situation. I still think he has a lot left in the tank. Drafted Malachi Starks at safety. The Ravens secondary is going to be amazing. They have Marlon Humphrey and probably the best safety in the NFL, Kyle Hamilton. Yeah, the Ravens are going to be real nice and really doesn't anger me because that's just a team that was built from the ground up and they deserve to be good. So yeah, that's my AFC North prediction.
All right. Luke, you want to go next or do you want me?
uh, go ahead, Adam.
Okay. I will save some time because we have the same exact order and
Nice.
some of the same exact records. I have the Browns at fourth. I have them winning one less game than you said. I have 3-14.
Dang.
Like you said, don't think they're going to be good. I think that goes without saying. When you have 5 or 6 quarterbacks, you don't have one. And I've heard they might bring 4 on roster, and if they do, I think there's a shot that all 4 see the field at some point this year.
For what reason, man? Like you don't need four quarterbacks on your team. I mean, I know
No,
Deshaun Watson's obviously going to be one, but like, which he shouldn't be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Watson's out for the year too.
I know, but won't they still? No, he'll be on IR. Sorry. Never mind.
No, you're good. And then I guess Flacco's QB1, and then if they keep Kenny Pickett, if they keep Shador and Dylan Gabriel, which they'll keep the rookies, I'm sure. So,
I think it's sorry to interrupt you again. I
oh, it's
think
fine.
it's either going to be Pickett or Gabriel that gets booted off that roster. I think
And in which I would go Pickett because
I would too.
Gabriel, you spent a third round pick on him.
Yeah. I-
So, But anyways, moving on, I have the Bengals in third, going 9-8. I think, like we said, their defense is going to be awful, but their offense will do enough to keep them in games at least and win, I guess, just barely most of them. But I think there will be a little more urgency this year because the coaching staff is most likely coaching for their job, and they'll realize, well, we've missed the playoffs 2 years in a row with Joe Burrow. We can't do it a third year in a row. So they'll be locked in a little bit. Second, I do have the Steelers going 10-7, one less than you do, but I think 11-6 is reasonable. I like what they did this offseason, obviously, with all the moves they made, going all in, you could say. And then in first, the Ravens. I think they'll be the best team in the AFC this year. I have them going 14-3.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all.
Sorry. One more thing. I do
Yeah.
think the Steelers will split with them. I see one Pittsburgh win against Baltimore. So
Probably at home. I could see that.
Luke, on to you.
Yeah, we all have the exact same order. And you guys summed up the Browns and the Bengals. Steelers, I will mention, a couple of concerns. I know I'm one of the people who will admit that Aaron Rodgers was better last year than people give him credit for, but he's still like 42 or 43. So that is a question mark whether we like it or not. Roman Wilson, whether we like it or not, is a question mark. And past 3 or 4 years, the Steelers defense has been the most expensive defense in the league, and none of those years have they been a top 10 unit. So that worries me a little bit, especially because of the age. A little bit you said, because of the Cam Hayward thing. Because I think we all would have hoped to see a little bit more out of JPJ at this point, but I still expect them to be right in the middle of the hunt for the playoffs. And it'll just depend on when they hit their hot streak, when they get cold. It'll depend on how they end the season, and how the wild card teams below them shake out. Ravens, we've all covered it. They're going to be fantastic. So I'll keep it brief. We all agree on the order.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. Why don't we go on to the AFC South? I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Maybe I'll start this one off.
Yeah, go for it.
In fourth, I have the Tennessee Titans. I have them going 4-13. Listen, I like the Titans this year. I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be really solid. And I've told Luke this. I don't think the receiver room is that bad. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, not the worst thing in the world. I forgot. I think they have another person or two in there.
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson, that's right.
Yo, legend.
Pollard and who's the second running back they have?
Tajay
Spears.
Spears, yeah, that's right. I don't think either one are that bad. Defense, fine. The coaching is what draws me away. I'm not really high on Brian Callahan, so ultimately that's what has them in fourth for me. And obviously, rookie QB, no matter how good or bad he is, there's going to be some growing pains. So you always got to factor that in. Third, I have the Colts at 5-12. Yeah, Daniel Jones, QB1. Can't say I'm a big believer in that. I do have them finishing in third just because Shane Steichen's a better coach than Brian Callahan. I think he'll will them to third. But ultimately, I could see this being his last year as Colts head coach. And I think there's a chance that everyone in that building gets canned after the year. Jonathan Taylor will have a good season. I like their receivers. I hope Tyler Warren does well. I know we're all going to be watching him real close. They have some players on defense. This isn't really the worst roster on paper. It's just the quarterback. Anthony Richardson hasn't shown he's that guy. Daniel Jones, we know is not that guy. So, yeah. In second, it's weird having a 6-11 team in second, but that's where this division is. I have the Jaguars in second. I think they're going to be a better team than I give them credit for. Trevor Lawrence, I think, will take a little bit of a step forward this year. I think Liam Cohen's a good coach for him. He's got Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter to throw the ball to. Who knows with that running back situation, whether it'll be Bigsby or Etienne. Tight end, they got rid of Evan Ingram, so I forget who they have now, honestly. Defense, I know they have Josh Hines-Allen. They have some other guys on there. But yeah, better season for the Jaguars coming up, but like I said, still be some growing pains. And then far and away, first in this division, Houston will win it again. I have them going 10-7. Not much else needs to be said about them. So.
Go ahead, Dante.
All right. In fourth place, I have the Tennessee Titans going 5-12. I think Cam Ward is going to be good, but the team around him I just don't really believe in, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Jeffrey Simmons is obviously going to be pretty good, one of the better defensive tackles in the league. But yeah, I just don't really believe in the Titans too much. In third place, I have the Indianapolis Colts going 6-11. Basically similar to what Adam said. Good roster on paper outside of the quarterback. I just don't know. This roster already needs a quarterback that can elevate them to be better. And whenever you put Daniel Jones in there, I don't see how that is going to work out too well. But yeah. And then in second, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars going 9-8. I think the Jags could be good. I think the Jags could be pretty solid. I think defensively they're going to be better than people expect. I think Hines Allen off the edge is going to be nice. I think Trayvon Walker could take a step finally. And depending on where they play Travis Hunter, I think he'll be good either spot. I don't think he should play both sides of the ball. That might be a hot take because like if say you're going to play the Philadelphia Eagles, you really want to get guarded by Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, then go have to guard AJ Brown. I don't think so. That really doesn't sound fun to me compared to whenever he was playing like Colorado State and Kennesaw State. Really not good. But yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence with Liam Cohen could work out. I hope it does. I like T-Law. Not getting my hopes too high though. But in a division like the South, I think that's good enough to finish in second. And then in first, I have the Texans. People are, down on CJ Stroud, saying he had a sophomore slump. But if a sophomore slump is winning a playoff game, I hope I I hope every quarterback has a sophomore slump because how are you going to hate on that guy? I'm still questionable about their offensive line because they were atrocious last year. But their defense is one of the best in the NFL. Best edge rushing duo in the league with Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. Stingley in the back. I mean, this seems really good, and I expect them to be good again this year. So that's my ranking.
Do you have a record for the Texans?
11-6. Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, their offensive line might be worse because they did lose Laramie Tunsil,
Which is, did they trade him or did he sign elsewhere?
They traded him to the Commanders.
What? Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Must have a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, beats me. But once again, we all agree here on the order. The Titans is just we'll see how long it takes them to figure out. It's probably gonna be a process because I think we all kind of see the writing on the wall about the coaching there, and I heard that they almost fired him after 1 year, so we'll see if he makes it two. Although I think Cam Ward is going to be good. It just depends on if he even has time to throw. And then if Tony Pollard and Spears are going to be a top 20 unit at all, if they can even be competitive. The Colts, I'm a little bit higher on than some people just because I look at last year and they somehow got to what were they, 9-8? I know they were the 8th seed. Everybody likes to forget that. And last year, the quarterbacks were Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco, who, may I remind you, was not good last year. Was not good last year. So you replace Joe Flacco with Daniel Jones there. The only real question is, how much worse does that possibly get? I don't think it gets so much worse that they go from 9-8 to 4-13, but I still do think that they're the number 3 in this division. Then you look at the Jaguars. You guys kind of covered it all there as well. This should be a better year for Trevor Lawrence. He now has weapons and less excuses, although a new head coach and still a shaky roster at best. I don't think anybody is picking them to win the division. I certainly don't think anybody is picking them to win a playoff game, although I have seen some people throw them in at the 7th seed, the 6th or 7th seed. And then I think we all are correct in picking the Texans to run away with this division. It is a little bit revisionist history just to say, oh, he didn't have a sophomore slump at all because he won a playoff game. Maybe that's not the right way to put it.
No, totally. But
it's not the right way on my part to put that. Because you are right. Gosh, a sophomore slump, but he wins a playoff game. But I do think you wanted him to be better last year, and I do think you hope that he's better this
for
year.
sure. Yeah.
And that's all. But I think that he has that chance. I really do, especially because the AFC this season probably got a little bit weaker overall, especially if you look at our division. Bengals defense, the Browns are a mess. And the bottom of the AFC West is going to be what it's going to be. We'll see how that shakes out. There's going to be one or two teams that aren't as good as they should be. We'll just see who they are. So I do think, again, with another year under his belt, they signed Nick Chubb. I know they just traded, might be butchering his name, but John Michie, that wide receiver.
I'll match
They
you.
just they just traded him. So we'll see how that works out. Dalton Schultz is still a good answer. They have the coaching. I think that they'll be fine. I think they'll be good. I think they'll be on top of that division. No problem.
Cool.
All right. Let's finish out the AFC part with the West. Who wants to go first?
I could go first.
Go for it.
In fourth place, I have the Las Vegas Raiders, and that might be a universal opinion. I'm not sure. I think it should be though. Yeah, Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith could be good. I think Brock Bowers is going to be, in my opinion, if he's not already, I think he's going to end up being the best tight end in the NFL because he was phenomenal last year.
He probably already is.
Yeah, I think he is. You could argue Kittle, but it's Bowers. Still a question at wide receiver. I believe they still have Jacoby Myers, if I'm not mistaken, who really underrated, really not bad, but I
A
don't think.
very good wide receiver too.
Yeah, agreed.
Not a one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Genty plays. I think Genty could be good. Uh, he had kind of a stinker in his first game in the preseason and kind of picked it up in the second, but once again, preseason really means nothing until, pads hit week 1. But I have the Raiders going 7-10. I think the Raiders could be good. I think their defense could be good. Max Crosby's going to be himself, defensive player of the year candidate this year. I think he should be. But yeah, we'll see how the Raiders play out. In third place, this may surprise some people. I have the Denver Broncos going 10-7. Truthfully, if you look at the Broncos last year, Bo Nix was good. That defense is utterly phenomenal. Patrick Surtain, best corner in the league. It's really no debate. Zach Allen on the line just got an extension. Well deserved too. He was an absolute stud. But if you look at the Broncos' record against playoff teams last year, I believe they didn't win any of them. If I'm not mistaken, maybe they went 1-7, or whatever it was. But they were not good against playoff teams last year. They really only beat bad teams, which I know that's being nitpicky, but I believe in the other two teams ahead of them in this division more. But hopefully I'm wrong. I hope Bo Nix has a good year. But I do have the Broncos going 10-7. In second place, I have the Chargers going 11-6. I mean, the Herbert excuses, if they don't play well, are going to rain down some more because they still don't have a very potent offense. I mean, they have Ladd, but they have Keenan Allen in there, I guess, is there two? Or, I mean, you have,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Who they just drafted a running back and Najee.
Marion Hampton,
Um,
Najee, which Marion Hampton could be good to take some stress off of Herbert throwing the ball. I think the Chargers line is going to be great. Their offensive line. I think Joe Walt's going to take another step this year. He should be nice, but we shall see. I don't know. This division's really tough to predict. I mean, I could flip the Chargers and the Broncos easily, but I don't think it's any debate. I think the Chiefs are going to win this division. You guys may disagree with me. I have them going 12-5. It's just so hard to predict against the Chiefs. I mean, people, say like Colin Coward, he said the Chiefs dynasty is ending. Yeah, what was their record last year? I mean, like 15-2. They were ridiculous last year, made a Super Bowl and got whooped in the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs are still good, man. Rashi Rice is going to have a good year. Mahomes is going to be himself. I think that defense is going to be solid with Karlaftis and Chris Jones. And yeah, I think the Chiefs, this is still the Chiefs division until I'm proven otherwise. But yeah.
Yeah, I flat out disagree with you. I have the Chiefs in last. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
I'm kidding. I guess that means should I go then, Luke? Is that okay? Yeah.
yeah, go, yeah.
No, in all seriousness, our predictions are pretty much the same, similar. I shouldn't say the same because they're not, but similar. I also have the Raiders in fourth, and I also have them going 7-10. I think they'll be a fun 7-10 though. Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers for what it's worth. Pete Carroll coaching. The Raiders will be entertaining to watch this year.
Yeah.
They won't, you won't see them on your TV and be like, oh, the Raiders.
Mhm.
You'll be like, okay, Raiders. We'll see what they do here.
Are the Raiders still in
Hey, they're not eliminated
it? They're
yet.
not. They're not.
Uh,
Go Birds.
in third, I have the Los Angeles Chargers going 9-8.
Oh,
I think they might fall off a little bit this year. I like the pick of Hampton, but what I don't get is why they just let J.K. Dobbins walk so easily. I would have rather kept him over Najee, signing Najee. That's just me. But yeah, I'm trying to think. So it's Ladd and Keenan Allen, right? We said, and I guess Quentin Johnston. So yeah, a lot will be on Ladd this year. And then tight end, they still haven't really figured out. So
you know what, Adam? Sorry to interrupt you.
yes.
You switch my ranking. Put the Broncos in second and the Chargers in third.
Are you sure?
You convinced me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I changing the records or?
Yeah, just
Well,
change
they're
the records
10
around.
and 7 and 11 and 6. So are they?
Give the Broncos 11-6. Give the Chargers 10-7. My apologies to interrupt you.
That's fine. I just want to make sure I had it accurate.
Yes, my apologies.
Okay. Hey, I'm glad I convince you, but
Yeah,
yeah.
what am I thinking?
You're good, bro. It's okay. It's whatever you want. Anyways, let's segue on. I do have Denver in second. I have them going 11-6, like you predicted. I think they're going to be really solid. I like Bo. I like that defense a lot. We have praised Cortland Sutton plenty on this podcast, and I think it's deserved. I think he's really underrated. They picked up Evan Ingram to be tight end. They have Dobbins at running back. They had a rookie, RJ Harvey, who I like. I think could be really good. So yeah, I think they'll pick up right where they left off last year. And I do have the Chiefs in first again, going 12-5. But like we said, I think it's still the Chiefs' division to lose, but I think it's going to be a little harder for them this year. I don't think they'll just run away with it like they have in years past. I think a team like Denver is going to give them a challenge. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I really wanted to be different because I really want to put the Chargers fourth. I think the roster is bad. Um, I don't know.
Do
I'm
it.
not going to.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm boring. I'm not going to. The Raiders fourth, Chargers third, Broncos second, Chiefs first. It's boring. That's what we all said.
Sure.
But you look at it. I don't. Well, I just think Harbaugh is going to coach them to a couple wins where they shouldn't. But I think that they. I don't think they'll be a good team. Um, Last year they made the playoffs when to lose. I don't think they're going to sniff the playoffs this year. I think the bottom of that division is going to be underwhelming because I also think the Raiders, outside of okay, Geno Smith is an improvement. Brock Bowers is still really good. Max Crosby is really good. Um, Genty, it might take some time, and a running back does not change your fortunes overnight, even if he's really good. The wide receivers, it's a big question mark. The defense is a question mark. Um, Pete Carroll will have to see if he can still hold his own, especially in that heavyweight division. Um, I'm also a bit lower on Denver than some people. I am kind of with you, Dante, that they sketch me out a little bit when you look at the teams they lost to last year and the teams they basically the teams they couldn't beat were anybody with a pulse. And that is a lot of defense. If could they survive an injury or two if they have to? Um, is Bo Nix going to have a 17 game solid season? Is that really going to happen, or is it going to be, you know, I'm just not I'm not sure about them as much as some other people are. Um,
Sorry, I don't
as
mean
much
to
as
laugh.
as much as I am what?
I don't mean to laugh. I just see Drake May behind you.
Yeah, my background
That
theme is
was
Drake
there.
May. Um, although I am pretty sure about the Chiefs, like a lot of people are, and like some people who claim to be experts are not. You look at what happened after they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucks. They looked terrible in that Super Bowl. Mahomes was running for his life, and they got whooped. And then they came back and they fixed all those problems. Now they made a complete offensive line overhaul after that Super Bowl. The issue from last year is that the Eagles did not have to rush uh, they didn't have to blitz pretty much all game, and they still found a way to get pressure. So
I
how
don't
do you
think they
fix
blitzed
that?
once. Sorry to interrupt. I don't think they
Yeah,
blitzed once.
I
I
don't
think
think they
Mansion
blitzed a
took them out
single
too.
time.
No.
So that's what would worry me as a Chiefs fan. However, these are Super Bowl problems. They're not regular
Sure.
season problems. They'll be fine. Um, you, and especially because I think that Kelsey will be a little bit more locked in this year. He already admitted that he was a bit distracted last year, which we all knew. Um, they'll be fine. They're not going to miss DeAndre Hopkins, obviously. So Harrison Bucker is still a premier kicker in the league, so they're going to win a couple games of the bus like they always do. So boring as it may be, I think we all agree here on the rankings for this division.
Sure.
All right. Before we wrap it up, you gave your division winners. Now you got to give 3 wild cards. So remember how it works. There are 4 division winners. There are 3 wild card teams. So out of the 12 teams you did not predict to win their division, you got to pick 3 of them to be a wild card team. So I can give mine if
Okay,
you guys aren't ready. I have
I'm
mine ready.
ready. I mean, but if you want to give yours, that's cool.
go for it, Adam.
Okay. The first wild card I have this year, taking the 5 seed, is the Denver Broncos. Actually, you know what? Why don't I start from the top and go from the order of the division teams?
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1, I have Baltimore. Number 2, I have Buffalo. Number 3, I have KC. Number 4, I have Houston. Then number 5, I have Denver. Number 6, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers, which would mean they go to Arrowhead, but we'll see what happens. And then number 7, I do have the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they'll figure it out just barely and get Joe Burrow to the playoffs this year because with Joe Burrow, all you need to do is get him to the playoffs, and then he could be magical from there. So the close team I have missing out is the Chargers. I have the Patriots right behind them, and then the Raiders and Dolphins, and then it goes from there. So
Luke, you could go, bud.
Yeah, I will go because I'm gonna totally subvert expectations and name a team that Adam didn't mention. My 7 seed is the Jags. Um,
Interesting.
oh, Jaguars.
I
Okay.
think that in that division, they will be, yeah, they'll win enough games. They should sweep the bottom of the division. They have the weapons now. The only question is, can the defense play up to par? And for a couple games of the year, they're not going to have to. Like I said, there are a couple weaker offenses in the NFL in that division, and a couple weaker ones in the AFC as well. Um, I think this is the year Trevor gets better. I, for all accounts, am a Trevor Lawrence hater and doubter. So I'm not going to step up and say that he's going to be in the MVP rankings. No, but I think this is the year probably that they have the best opportunity since that year that they've made the comeback in the wild card round. And I think they'll sneak in because I'm not moved by the Bengals. I'm not going to give their defense the excuse that other people are going to give them just because Joe Burrow is magical. That didn't even work last year. Um, I'm not moved enough by the Dolphins or Patriots. I'm sorry. Um, so I have the Jaguars 7, I have the Steelers 6, and I have the Broncos 5, just like Adam. And I guess if we're doing that, I have the Bills 4, I have the Texans 3, uh, Chiefs 2, and Ravens 1. There you go.
Okay.
All right, for mine, number 1 seed, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2 seed, I have the Buffalo Bills. 3 seed, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, and 4 seed, I have the Houston Texans. My 5th seed, I have my Steelers. My 6th seed, I have the Denver Broncos. And the 7th seed, I have the Chargers. I have 3 AFC West teams making it. So you could really flip the Broncos and Steelers because I have them both at 11 and 6. I don't believe they play each other this year. So it all be either about division record or however they decide that. So yeah, you could really flip those however you want. But yeah, those are my 7. I think I love Luke's Jags prediction because I could really see that. I had them going 9 and 8, so yeah, I really do think they could be better than people think they are. But yeah, that's mine.
I will just mention because it was a bit of a difference. I have the Bills 4th because you know I don't think they got better. And wide receiver is still a question mark. Uh, let's be real, head coaching is a question mark. When that division, at least from the bottom up, is going to start to get a little bit better, a little bit more competitive. We're not going to have any 4-win teams in the AFC East. So
Mhm.
they could lose an extra game or two and they weren't expecting to lose. But otherwise, we all know that they should be fine.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for the AFC part of this. Um, stay tuned because the NFC part will be dropping in a couple days right after this, even though us right now will be recording it in like 5 minutes. So, all right. But for now, we are your host, Adam.
Dante?
And Luke. And might I just add, in a very exciting way, for the first time I can say, catch us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, dude.
And I butchered that the first time I got to say it, but enjoy
You
it however you're listening to it.
nervous. First time jitters, man. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
You can watch us on your
Exciting
big
stuff.
screen. You could watch us on your phone. You can listen to us in the gym.
You could even rent out a movie theater and put us on the biggest screen possible if your heart so desired, which I don't see why it wouldn't.
No more listening to Mr. Brightside Upbeat remix in Planet Fitness like I had to do the other day.
Oh man. Oh man.
Or another Love Upbeat remix. Like
Oh my gosh, that might be the worst things to talk about off air, but yeah, the worst remix I've ever heard in my life.
So bad.
Or Bangarang, which Dante had to listen to once.
That honestly, it could be worse. It could be worse than Banger.
Right, it could be worse. All right, things to talk about off air.
Anyway.
Thank you for watching.